YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back in Total War Rome 2, where I'm going to be bringing you the second game between Achilles and Greek Iraklis. It's already underway. Achilles is playing as Athens, and Greek Iraklis is playing as Syracuse. Or no, sorry, other way around. Athens, right here, in the blue and red, is Iraklis, and Syracuse, and the blue and yellow, is going to be Achilles. He had 4 hoplites, so he deployed all of his army in this forest and started pushing forward over here. Let's give you the overview. So he deployed all of his units here in this forest and started pushing forward, and he's now brought his main line in behind Iraklis, but Iraklis took his force and has pushed up against these 4 hoplites that deployed over here in this forest. So it's an interesting start to the game, and you can see it's a very long game down here on the timer. These hoplites are separated, and they're going to be destroyed by the Athenian forces before Achilles can get in here and do anything about it. So yeah, the Syracusan hoplites here completely away from support. They're being shot by mercenary Cretan archers, though there is a gap here that they're taking advantage of, and they might get to the Cretan archers. If Iraklis doesn't know this, that would end up being pretty cheeky. It's not going to happen, though, I don't think. Yeah, we've got mercenary Thracian warriors are going to come in and destroy these guys, but they actually catch these archers right here. If they can do some damage there, that'd be good, because they are going to get absolutely wrecked by Thracian warriors, forest or not. Yeah, Thracian, look at that archer, just got stabbed in the side of the face. Nice. So yeah, these hoplites, though, are going to die because they are separated out, so they'll be destroyed. So that's basically going to be 4 units that Iraklis gets nearly for free here, and a nice use of pikemen for area denial here. There's 3 pikemen. They don't have their pikes out right now, but I'm sure he could do so. So the archers and the pikes here being a giant area of denial, not letting the Syracusan army come up from behind, so that this is completed over here, and basically Iraklis gets the trade. You're going to have just 1 skirmisher actually for Achilles, and it looks like they are targeting these Thracian warriors out here. It's just a standard archer unit. They have 150 range now, apparently. So they're going to be killing these Thracian warriors back here. I don't know if Iraklis realizes this or if he's just letting it happen. We'll see. But the army from Syracuse is very odd. It's 4 pikes leading 4 Thurios hoplites, and they're supported by, I think, 3 thorax hoplites and a picked hoplite general. So no cavalry whatsoever for Syracuse. A very Greek army here, apparently, but just without all the light infantry as well, unless you're going to count the pikes or the Thurios hoplites as some light infantry. Now an interesting move. The pikemen come into more dense formation with gaps in between, so we'll see what Iraklis has planned here. Yeah, there's pikes on both sides, but there are skirmishers for Iraklis. But in the forest, it's going to be, again, trickier to kill all the pikes. But the Thracian warriors are already back here in a nice flanking position. Personally, I would favor Iraklis in this fight, just based on the builds and what I'm seeing here. He's got the Hippeus Lancer, he's got the Tarentine Cav, he's got the skirmishers. He can match pike for pike. In fact, he's got more pikes. He's almost kind of taken a note from the last battle where Achilles brought so many pikes. So this will be interesting. But the Thracian warriors are a nice support unit for pikes and cavalry. So let's see here. Thurios hoplite being singled out and charged from both sides by Hippeus Lancers. This is going to be devastating. These guys are going to drop in numbers considerably. Yeah, they're pretty much wiped out here. They're going to form a phalanx and they will survive, but they took some massive losses. There is a thorax hoplite potentially moving this direction, though I'm sure that these Hippeus Lancers can get out of here with relatively few losses, and because thorax hoplites are just not going to be crazy deadly there. So yeah, killed a lot of hoplites right there, and then the Tarentine Cav over here being annoying, probably trying to throw javelins at the picked hoplite general, pulling some of the pikemen back this direction as well. So now the Syracusan player, Achilles, being kind of pulled in multiple directions to try and fight this off. So interesting. So the mobility here playing its role. The Thurios hoplites taking a second charge here. The Hippeus Lancers coming back to finish what they started. These poor Thurios hoplites apparently didn't get enough the first time when being rammed from the front and the back by Hippeus Lancers. So a lot of units off the field now already for Agony Achilles, so we'll see if he's able to pull this back in his favor, but with the pikes and stuff, like I said, I think it's going to be difficult. The Mercenary Cretan Archers and other units can kind of just fire with impunity, and they're going to do some damage. I don't know what they're targeting, though, at this point, or if they're targeting anything. They've got their daggers out right now, so they're in melee mode, I guess, or they've used all their ammo already, which I guess is possible. Let's see, so there's a Thorax Hoplite chasing the Hippeus Lancer. Let's see if it connects. If it connects, it's going to be free hit points, possibly even kills. Yeah, it did. It resulted in several kills on the Hippeus Lancer. So that worked out for Agony Achilles. Same thing, chasing off Hippeus Lancers over here. And we've got some pikemen moving forward. I mean, a pike-on-pike engagement won't do anything for Achilles. I don't really know how he's going to approach this one. Looks like we might get a pike-on-pike engagement. I'm trying to remember in a pike-on-pike engagement whether it favors the player who has deeper ranks or if it really matters. I can't remember. Pike-on-pike engagements are so awkward that's... I mean, as you can see here, look at these guys attacking in like a pike column, doing some very weird stuff. And then these pikemen not even really connecting with them at the moment. So, I mean, pike-on-pike engagements tend to be extremely derpy. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. It's definitely not the same kind of wood chipper effect it was on Rome 1. Yeah, definitely a lot of pike-on-pike engagements here. These are not nearly as good as they were in Rome 1. You can see that mostly they just sit here and like a couple of guys on the end poke at each other. It's pretty weak sauce, and Creative Assembly should have fixed it, but never did. Let's see if the cavalry is doing much right now. Some mercenary Thracian warriors actually being killed here by a Thorax Hoplite. And Hippeus Lancer with 77 kills, very few losses, so it's in pretty good shape. Tarentine cavalry looking like they're trying to be annoying and get into the back lines, but they're going to be cut off by infantry. Looks like 3 Hippeus Lancers in total. And then there's one more Thracian warrior here as well. The pike-on-pike fight actually did go to Syracuse here, and rather handily in a couple of those engagements. So that's going to actually be good for... That's going to be good for Achilles, but let's see if it's enough. There's still quite a few skirmishers here, and I find it hard to believe that these guys would be out of ammo. But they may be. Because they fired some early game. So the Tarentine Cab getting through here, taking out the archers. Yeah, and the pikes, I mean, they're being pretty decisively defeated. The pikes of Athens. Kind of surprised by that. I don't really know what drove that. The Athenian pikemen should be exactly the same as the Syracusan pikemen, but the Syracusan pikemen supported by Thorax Hoplites here. Maybe it's the support of the Hoplites or something. They're doing very well. Most of the Athenian pikes are gone at this point. But again, there's a lot of game left apparently. Let's see, there's some Hippeus Lancers coming in here. I think they were trying to go for a rear charge, but it's kind of an awkward situation there, and I think it's probably just going to get a bunch of them killed. I can't quite tell, though. Those Thurios Hoplites don't look like they're routing. Here comes some Thracian warriors. I'm surprised they didn't charge in as well, but maybe they're a little bit concerned about the Thorax Hoplites here. Archers and other stuff over here in melee. I mean, these guys must be out of ammo, or surely they wouldn't be thrown into melee combat. Now the Syracusan pikes look like they're being defeated. These Thorax Hoplites here look like they're going to be defeated by the Thracian warriors as well, but there's a picked hoplite coming in. So let's just kind of see how this plays out. Interesting combined arms here with archers running around everywhere being used in melee, trying to pin down pikes, but there's no rear charge available to get the pikes, or to save the archers at this point. Thracian warriors coming in. They'll need a good charge to do well against the Thorax Hoplites. Let's see, these Thracian warriors got some kills, but now they're going to be killed. These picked hoplites are going to be deadly in combat there. Probably, yeah, I don't know, let's see. Yeah, and it looks like the Syracusan infantry is kind of coming out on top over here as well. Rear charge from the Hippeus Lancer has not been decisive yet, but there's still another one here too coming in the late game. This is just an interesting situation over here. You got Tarentine cavalry engaging thorax hoplites. These mercenary Thracian warriors just standing here at the moment. Looks like, I mean, a rear charge from these guys would have been very handy right there. Epeius Lancers coming in to try and get these pikemen. So I'm not sure we had the best angle there, because it looked like it was kind of into the pikes a little bit. Thracian warriors alive and kicking, getting a few kills, but they're going to be overwhelmed by the thorax hoplites and the picked hoplites. At this point, Iraklis is going to have to be careful, or he may not have enough units to pull this off. But he does have some cavalry and stuff, and if he's patient, he might be able to do this. I think dealing with the picked hoplite is going to be the biggest challenge that he would have left. And it still says that there's 14 minutes of gameplay here, which is interesting. Let's see if I'm missing any units. I don't think so. I mean, you just got this archer right here. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to fast forward for a few minutes. Well, unless we get something decisive. You got Thurios hoplites and thorax hoplites chasing the mercenary Thracian warriors. And the archers look like they're being used to maybe buy the Thracian warriors a charge. They turn around and charge. Looks like they're charging at the Thurios hoplites, though, and they're going to be charged by the thorax hoplites. Let's see if they get many kills. Tarentine cavalry coming in on a rear charge. That's going to be useful, but I don't know if it'll be decisive. Okay, a Epeius Lancer charge coming in. That is going to be pretty crippling, I would think. And it's a trample charge as well. But the Syracusan units are holding strong over here and actually pulling out of that engagement ahead at the moment. Yeah, so neither one of these units gone for Syracuse, and in fact they have a Thurios hoplite coming back into the fight. The shot cavalry is exhausted and few in number at this point for Athens. Athens does have a couple of pikemen over here and an archer. I don't think the archer has any ammo. Let's fast forward. Kind of see what happens here. Lots of Syracusan troops left. And there's a ton of time left on the clock here. I'm not sure what Athens can do about this. I mean, the picked hoplite alone is probably enough to win this fight. So, a lot of time left on the clock, but we'll just fast forward it out and see what happens. It's going to be a few minutes here. 2 Epeius Lancers, looks like 2 pikemen, a 3rd pikeman over here, so 3 pikemen and 2 Epeius Lancers. I mean, getting kind of antsy here with these charges on the hoplites. But I mean, just lots of cavalry charges cycling through here. Got rid of 1 unit. The cycling continuing. Don't know if it's going to be enough, though, to take out a thorax hoplite over here. But I mean, just the cycle charges absolutely non-stop here. Using the mass of the cavalry to do as much damage as possible to the infantry, and not doing a bad job here. But 1 pikeman off the field now for Athens. Definitely a numbers advantage here for Syracuse. Let's see, do they have any pikemen? No, just Thurios hoplites. So no pikemen left on the field for Syracuse. And the cavalry is now extremely limited in number. Though decent kills on each Epeius Lancer. Nothing spectacular, but not bad. Let's see what happens here. Oh, look at this, lining up in column formation, trying to get in between the pikes. And let's see if any rear charges can be decisive here. The picked hoplite is pulling away from the engagement, trying to stay safe. Nice rear charge from the Epeius Lancer there. That was a Tarentine cav, so not a Epeius Lancer. This thorax hoplite being tagged by Epeius Lancers, but that's not going to be decisive, I don't think. I mean, it just looks like Athens kind of keeps getting in worse and worse shape here. So yeah, this is definitely going to go in favor of Syracuse at this point, and I believe Syracuse is Agony Achilles. So I believe he's going to take this game. Let's make sure I'm right that it was Agony Achilles. I was pretty sure it was. So we'll just fast forward here to the end. It says that there's still 5 minutes left in the replay. So I guess he's going to run around with this Epeius Lancer. That's probably supremely... Well, no, there's a pikeman left, too. So this isn't over yet. For some reason, I thought this was a Syracusan unit for a moment. It's not a Syracusan unit. So yeah, this game's definitely still in play at the moment. They don't want to, I mean, neither one of the Syracusan units is looking like it wants to engage. Pikeman's going to try to engage, but they're just so derpy, I'm not sure they'll ever accomplish it. I don't know, let's just see what happens here. The pikemen are just going to keep moving, trying to engage, but of course the hoplite units are faster. The pikeman's going to have to continue to try and reform and be in the right position, so that's why the end of this battle is going to take so long. Let's just fast forward and see what happens here. Yep, can't imagine why Syracuse would take such an engagement, so they're not. They're just going to keep trying to get to the cavalry, but the cavalry can outrun them, so this is kind of like a, a situation here where they're just running circles around a bush. Wonder if a timer was up on this or not. I don't think there was a timer on these battles. So let's see what happens. Now this pikeman could potentially get outflanked. It's now chasing a Thurios hoplite without the pikes down. The thorax pikes, this is blade balance mod, and they do have drop shields. I totally forgot about the balance mod playing a role in that. So these Pictopotes have insane attack. The pikes now entering combat. They're going to get their pikes, but they're going to be rear charged by a thorax hoplite. But here comes a rear charge from the Hippeus Lancers, a trample charge. There's so few of them at this point. We'll see what happens. It's going to kill quite a few of these Thurios hoplites. And they're going to possibly get away for another charge. We'll see what happens. No, they're losing men. And the pikes are starting to waver as well with the loss of the Hippeus Lancers. Pikes have a decent number of kills, but they are not going to survive a rear charge from the Thurios hoplites. So unless the general dies here or something, yeah, they're gone. So let's make sure that we had the right victor there. It was indeed Agony Achilles. So he has won the first couple of games, and we will see who wins the third game when we come back. Hope you all enjoyed this. Great game to both players. Been enjoying this one thoroughly. HeirofCarthage signing out for now.